let people in my group know that this is happening. Where is it? There it is. Copy the link and send it to my group for you all to come and watch. Done. Sweet. All right. Hello, Jill and Cindy. Actually, oh, look, you all come. Hi, Deb. So I can see you guys here, so I'll keep looking sideways. Hi, Natasha. That's all right. I do try and give warnings. I'm gonna start setting it up so the lives will be like there to schedule for yourselves. I'm getting better at it slowly, I promise. I'm also a little bit early, but I figure I'll give people a little bit of a chance to get on before I start. And we're using Edge Paint today, which is fun. Should be interesting live. Hi, Hazel, and hello, Annette. Hi, Sharon. You guys are like all over this. I also got a new light, so I'm hoping this will cast less shadows for everybody. Hey, Helen, you did find me. I'm going to start double-sided taping while we wait for a few more people. Hello, Deborah. Hi, Michelle. I think I'm moving to you soon in Brisbane. Oh, we got everybody here today. Oh, and that awesome Goddess of the Sea bag I made yesterday, somebody in America bought it already. It didn't last long. I woke up and it was gone. I'm like, hey, it's kind of cool. I really did like that bag. I also learned a new technique that we're going to do today, just because I'm all about the sharing and caring. Hi, Vivi. You are catching alive. I ramble a lot, not going to lie. I'm a rambler. Can't help it. Hi, Emily. And Penny. Oh, Yana. Hello. It is 8:28 in the morning at the moment. Hi, Dorothy. So I pat my double-sided tape for the most part. Running your finger along it sometimes feels gross and sometimes doesn't work out the way you want. And we're doing Pickle Rick fabric. So I bought 30 centimeters of the Pickle Rick fabric, and I got the accent panel to a Floozy, the outside of a wench wallet, which is still to come out. I got a strumpet wallet, and I got something else. Oh, the front of a whippersnapper at a 30 centimeters, guys. You don't always need lots and lots of fabric to make glorious things. Although I am using a lot of this vinyl. Yeah. Hello, Mother. Don't whinge on my YouTube, please. Right. I think that's about all the double-sided tape I need. So it has 7 hours ahead. It's Wednesday, 8:30 in the morning, if that helps anybody. I'm terrible with the whole time thing. It's not poor Mum. Don't be like that, people. She's fine. Bonsoir. Oh, I wonder what that means. Good morning? I'm guessing good morning. Hello? All right. So I've put double-sided tape on the back of these cool accents. And then the second one, I don't actually cut 4, I cut 2. And then I just double-sided tape them to the backing because it's easier to cut them out the same this way. Hi, Laurie. It's okay to be late. I haven't actually done any sewing yet. So this is how I do them. I cut 2 and then just cut a bit of the same stuff, the same size, or thereabouts. good evening. Well, there you go. Bonsoir is good evening. So, now I'm going to stitch around these with a nice decorative stitch length. You can back stitch. You won't actually see it because it goes into the seam. I actually cut quite a lot of this off. But if I had made it too small, you'd lose the pattern piece, which is something we obviously don't want to do. And then I'm just going to... Oh, what? What's wrong with my bobbin? It got a loop. Got a really big loop. Hi, everybody. Welcome to Floozy today. I feel like a lot of you that were here last week had never seen Whippersnapper, because in the last week I have sold a lot of copies, which tells me that I need to go back and do some of the videos from before all over again. I actually looked, I have over 100 videos now, which is just insane. Since you guys are still liking them, I don't plan on stopping anytime soon. I'm going to do siren again because I've learned a new technique to make a continuous loop out of rope. So that needs to be a video, I've decided, because it might be useful for you to know it. Ugh. This is like the fiddliest part, but it's worth it. Morning, Lee. All right. Now I've got this. Now I have to cut it up. There's so many people here. So next year, so I've decided each year I do patterns, I'm going to come up with another ridiculous way of calling them things. I haven't picked what I'm going to do next. I was thinking like weird and obscure animals would be one option. Things that nobody's ever heard of. Because that'd be awesome. Or... I don't know. Are you doing it on your Wi-Fi? No, I turned my Wi-Fi off because last time, you guys, it was too cloudy on my Wi-Fi. So I've turned it off. So this is probably going to give me a huge phone bill, but I'll deal with that when it comes. All right. This is a edge coat tool. So the top of it spins for people that haven't seen it. And it's got a little spatula at the end. I never really use the spatula. I use this end. If you don't have one of these, it's okay. For a start, they were like $2 or $3. But if you don't want one, you can just use like one of those ear cotton bud things and then spread it with that. It will all work the same. So now I'm just going to, hang on, I'm just going to roll it on the edge. Hear that? They're the bombs outside. Well, they're not obviously right outside my door. They're a couple of kilometers away, but they still sound very loud. So it just rolls along the edge. I really need to pick up more paint. So after I do this video, basically it's going to be lots of loud music for the rest of the day. So I don't have to listen to it, because they'll do it all day. So I'm going to roll this along the other side. And we don't get warning which days it is, because if I had known that they were going to do the bombs today, I wouldn't have promised a live. But I also wasn't cancelling the live because I promised I'd do it. See my problem? And then they'll have a break, and it'll be the next person's turn to have a go. I think that's how it works. Anyway. I'm going to take a clip and clip it like this. And then I'm going to attach it just to something. So I'm going to attach this to my zipper jig so that it can sit there and dry. And if you do this first, I haven't got a rag, hold on. Just got a new rag. So if you do these first, by the time we need to use them, they will be dry. So it's better off to do this part first, which is why I put it first in the pattern. Because by the time I've finished doing all the other bits, we will be right to take them off. They don't take that long to dry anyway. All right. edges are nice and coated. Corey, good thing you give us links. So in my descriptions, I always put the links of everything I'm using as a general rule. Obviously, I can't do that right now. We're live. I got this on eBay. It is called an edge coat tool. I got this on eBay. It is called edge coat, but all of the writing is what I assume is Chinese. But it's called edge coat, and you can get it in like a million different colors. This one is called Praisiness, which I guess they were trying to say poisonous. Whatever. It still works. And I'm from the same company. Why is my drawer stuck? I got a whole bunch of them. So I've got green, white, tan. Well, that one's called light tan. Black. Pink and red. And my theory... Oh, and there's a blue one as well. So my theory here is if I needed to, I could probably mix up other colors that I needed if I really felt the need. But I also don't use a lot of it, so that's a lot. And they were like $4 or $5 a bottle, or you can buy them in a pack. So anyway, I have a heap of them. And then I'm just gonna wipe off the excess on my new cloth. This was actually going to be a hand towel I was going to embroider on, but for now, it is not that. I know a lot of you guys don't have Facebook. So in this, I'm actually going to talk about a workshop. I'm officially releasing it on Sunday at 4 p.m. There is only 8 spots, and it is going to be the last week of June on the Saturday. Now, I haven't checked that date. Mum, can you check that date for me? Because I understand a lot of you guys don't have Facebook, so you might not know that I'm doing a workshop. So I'm doing a workshop at my home. I went and bought like new super solid wooden chairs so that I can disinfect them because of COVID reasons. Yeah, so we're gonna make this bag. Funnily enough, we're making Floozy. It's the last Saturday of June. I don't know what the date is. I can't remember off the top of my head. But it's the last Saturday in June. And so basically I will supply everything. So a whippersnapper is a hip bag that I have designed that also turns into a backpack, which I thought was a really cool thing. I only realized June 26th. There you go. So my first ever workshop is June 26th. Thank you, Mother. It's going to be from 10 till 11, 12, 1, 2, 10 till 3. I've given 5 hours to make this bag. And those that are coming, the price includes vinyl to make an entire bag and waterproof canvas. And then if you want to, you can bring your own accent panel. It'll include all of the hardware and the zippers. So you get everything. Basically, you just show up with your sewing machine and your scissors and you're good to go. I'm also thinking that I might cut a lot of it out for you so that we get the bag done. And that way, all levels of sewing will get their bag completed in the 5 hours. So that is the plan there. I'm just moving along and squishing this together. We're going to do this, the strap now because it gets rid of a lot of the hardware out of here. I'm obsessed with making whippersnappers at the moment. Because I'm doing this horse show, I need to take like 20 with me. So we're getting there. Alright, on our decorative stitch length still, I'm going to stitch 1/8 of an inch from that center line that I've just folded. I wish I lived close to you, but the USA is a bit of a distance. This is true. I completely understand that. So, the reason I can do this so fast, if anybody's ever wondering, is I actually use my fingernails to kind of lock it in place. So it runs against my finger, but the fingernails on top lock it in place. I'm sorry I called you Tori and not Taurus. It is Tori. Tori. My name is actually Victoria. We just took out the front and the end bit. So Tori is correct. Or Victoria, or Vicky. I answer to anything, let's be honest. Crazy bag lady. I've answered to that a few times. So that does take practice, but nails, I promise, help. I knew it was Victoria, but heard Tori. Whatever. I'll answer to pretty much anything, let's be honest. So we need... I'm going to start working out these kits. So for all my patterns, I'm going to start making up kits. I don't know where I think I'm keeping them, but we'll worry about that another day. So I'm going to start putting everything that's in here. I will make up Floozy kits in all the colors, just to make it a little bit easy, because you only need one of these, not two, but I sell these in packs of 2. So I don't know. I think it would be much easier if I started having all my own bags into kits. And a lot of them will translate into other bags as well. So like Vixen will have a kit, but you can use that for any bag that requires bag feet, 4 handles, and some zips. Girls Trip would be fun. I'm also back to Black Scully. I missed Black Scully, so he had to come back. So this shirt is an embroidery design from Urban Threads, and then I changed it to be very, very pink because I felt like it. Pink and green are like my 2 colors. So I'm going to do the crisscross instead of rivets to seal this, because I didn't grab rivets and these things happen. You also don't have to have lots and lots of hardware. Like, you don't have to have rivets. It's just more fun if you do. And backstitch. Trim that off. I also plan on doing the wench wallet, which isn't out yet. That's going to be my next workshop, but that one will be held in Seymour at the fabric shop because they said I could. So yay! All right, so I've gone up and through that, and now we're going to put this end on. I owned a 3D printer for a very small while, and it took up too much of my time, and I preferred to be sewing. So I sold it to a guy, but in exchange for money, I didn't want money. I wanted him to print me more of these. So I was selling them for a little while, but he now has a full-time job and doesn't want to supply me with any more, unfortunately, so I can't get them. I would love to offer more because I think they're awesome. But the design is free for anybody that has a 3D printer on thingiverse.com, or it was when I got it, which was ages ago. I don't have it on my computer anymore. I deleted it because I don't have a 3D printer anymore. I had such plans. I was going to do zipper pulls and earrings and bowls. Like the Lord of the Rings bowl was also done on the 3D printer. We did it in white and then I spray painted it gold because it was like a tester thing. And I would love to be able to offer them again, but I don't have the time and patience to deal with 3D printers. They're just not my thing. I'll stick to sewing machines. Alright, so I'm just melting the end bits so that they don't stick up and annoy me. And then that's the strap done. Now, if you wanted to, you could have put the fabric accent on top. but I kind of like the strap looking like this, and I like that it's thin. It's my thing at the moment. The other thing I could have done is cut it into 2 1-inch strips, sewed it together, and then put edge coat down the side, but I didn't do that, obviously. So this shirt, if you've got an embroidery machine, this is, I think I did the 8x8 size, so 20 centimeters. Hi, Cheryl. And then I just did it with pinks and purples. The pattern, I think, is purples and blues, but no pattern gets to tell me what to do. That's pretty much how that goes. So edge coat is like a thick paint that you can put on the edge of your stuff. I did it at the start of this video, which if you've just tuned in, you have missed. But basically, it's like a thick paint you stick on the edge of stuff, and it seals it like bags you buy in a store. So I may as well do these while I'm here. Fold them both into the center. My double-sided tape was not very centered on that, but it catches it both, so it's fine. Nobody tells me what to do. That's fair. All right, so I'm going to stitch the outside edges of these. Whoops. Or not. It does say don't get snippy. Yes. They have a whole bunch of them. You can buy, Urban Threads have these in a set. And there's like a whole bunch of sewing-y ones. I only liked this one, so this is the only one I purchased. Alright. So I'm just stitching 1/8 of an inch from the outside edge. I'm not back stitching because it doesn't matter. And then I can stick them in my bowl until I'm up to them. Ooh, it's nice and messy on the back. I'm going to do another live, oh no, I already told you that, another live siren. It's on my brain. I bought like a crap ton of rope to do these things. All right, hi Kathy. So, that is my zipper end. They are my zipper tabs. I've got a lot of stuff going on in here. All right, I'm gonna, no, that's not it. You know what, I'm gonna start with them because I can find those pieces. So you don't have to, with my patterns, you don't necessarily have to do them in the order that I've written in the pattern. You can kind of just jump all over. So like right now, I am going to do the outer gusset because they're the pieces I can find in my tub. So I'm just going to put right sides together and use my plate. Trim that off. I'm going to do the other end. Yes, it is technically for leather. I use it on vinyl. It's cool. It still works. Alright, so I've stitched them together, but I don't like how this looks. So I'm going to flatten it out open, and then I'm going to top stitch on each side to hold it down. One side, I'm going to swivel all the way around and go straight up the other side. Like so. I use it on vinyl all the time. Edge coat. So this pattern, because I'm trying to make all my patterns teach you something different. So this pattern is teaching you edge coat. And I guess gussets, because none of my others really have gussets. And top stitching. This pattern is all about the final top stitching, because it's tricky. Okay, gusset, almost done. I learned from you, once you get the basics of bag making, you can jump around. You definitely can. I'm all about eliminate pieces. I like as minimal pieces in front of me as possible. So I join all the fiddly stuff first, usually. Especially when I'm not on camera. Although today I'm pretty much doing that anyway. Okay, So this is something cool I saw on video somewhere. I don't know. So the idea is that I'm going to fold this up like so. So those back pieces are going to be hidden. However, sometimes they tend to stick out. So I saw this lady, she just cut like a V out of the ends. It's no specific V, it's just a V. Right, so she did this. Then, of course, I've put my double-sided tape where I can't get to it because my edge coat is drying. Then she took a piece of double-sided tape. That bit's probably too long, so I use half for each end. That's fine. And so then, when you fold it up, you also bring them together. And I'm going to show you that in a second. So I've stuck it together and see how the ends are now not sticking out the sides. I thought that was really clever and something my brain had never thought of. So now I'm going to show you. Need some more double-sided tape. Hold on. Don't hate gussets. Gussets are great. I love gussets. There have been bombs going off, although they seem to have taken a break. So maybe they're getting graded. I don't know. We don't actually get told what's going on. We just live here. Alright, this is definitely a little bit fiddlier than I anticipated, but the principle's still there. Oh, hear that? That was one just then. It was a pretty quiet one, but it was still one. So now, see how it comes in at the sides here. So now when I top stitch that, the bits aren't going to hang out the side. So I'm going to take this. Put it where I need it, which is there. Then I'm just going to hold it and stick it straight under the machine. And then I'm going to do the crisscross because I love the crisscross. You could also just put rivets in this if you wanted to. Hi Tori, caught you a second time live. Must be on a roll. Have I ever used waterproof canvas strips as binding? I have not, actually. But you could. You definitely could. I just buy binding because I'm lazy and then I don't have to like do anything to it. So I buy my binding the same place I buy my thread. So from Weidman Threads. So if I'm lazy. So I just have it there and I fold it in half and Bob's your uncle. And I use polyester so that I can just singe the ends instead of having to tuck them under. Ottertex. I have heard good things about that. Did I tell you guys that I got, or I'm getting, more colours in the waterproof canvas? So I can't get it in the thicker one, but the thinner one I've ordered navy and yellow and dark green. But I'm still looking for a tan. Tan is way harder to find than I thought it would be. It doesn't love like a good neutral, but anyway. Gussets are only fiddly at the corners, but if you use my method where you push it out with your thumbs like this, hopefully you'll find it's much, much easier. All right. In and together. In and together. That one worked way better. So from the outside, whoops, you're not going to see those edgy bits. So I can't control the shipping prices. I've put them all in my website. I think to ship to America is about around $24. And I know that's not really feasible for one piece of fabric, but if you got like a few, it would be better. But unfortunately, shipping just sucks everywhere international. My templates are a bit different because they don't weigh much. It's more about the size bag they'll fit in. Whereas my stuff all goes on weight. But like the templates, I actually think I sell more of my templates to America and Canada than I do to Aussies. You guys love the templates because it's the same price for international standard slow shipping as it is for express shipping within Australia. And that's all included in the price. So I do actually sell more templates, I think, to overseas than within Australia. Which is kind of cool, really. I actually have something you guys want. Voodoo Rabbit in Brisbane has Ottertex. Oh, that's cool. Oh, so I painted my machine. I did a video on how to paint this. My only thing I would do differently if I was to do it again is put a clear coat on it because right here at my plate, it's starting to wear off. Which is kind of annoying, but what do you do? Voodoo Rabbit has a lot of cool stuff. We have a lot of the same stuff. Which is fine. There's only X amount of things you can get in the universe. What was that? I think it's about $35 a meter. Okay, well there you go. Ottertex is a lot thicker than my one. This one is the grass green. So this is the really, really thin one. I actually quite enjoy using it. Not gonna lie, that's why I'm doing it. The thick one's cool and all, but I kind of like that this is thin. It means it's not bulky, it's lightweight. I don't know, everybody likes what they like. Some people only like to use cotton for their lining. There's nothing wrong with that. There's no right or wrong thing. Hi, Bronwyn. So I'm doing the gusset of the lining just to get it out of the way. Again, minimizing pieces. It's my thing. Then I'm going to do all the zippers at once. And I actually remembered to put my logo on this before I started the video, so that's one less noise we're going to have. I have put my logo center back, so this will be the back piece. Thinner tends to mean lightweight, and I'm all about lightweight stuff. So this is my vinyl, so this is going to be the back pocket bit. So I'm going to do this one as well. Back stitch, swivel, crank the stitches up, and then top stitch along the vinyl. I put my black waterproof canvas in an overnight bag yesterday, and it came out great. I'd love to get more printed stuff, but it's harder to find than you think. It took me ages just to find the ones I do have. All right, that looks fabulous. This is now the front. Okay, I gotta start cutting zippers now. We're up to the zipper bit. Oh, the zipper cutting scissors aren't here, so I'm gonna use these ones instead. We're gonna crack the zip, put a zipper on. Oh, don't restart, computer. Go away. There we go. My computer just wanted to restart, and I'm like, no. So if you look down the zipper, you can see if they're coming through evenly or not. There we go. Right, that felt weird. It was weird. Nope, still weird. Zipper's misbehaving. So I went with just a solid green zip for this because it looked really cool on the whippersnapper I did. Otherwise, I probably would have done black with gold teeth to match the hardware and the background of the Pickle Rick fabric. Okay, so we need one of our squares. So this is the front pocket and the slip pocket on the inside. So I'm just going to grab, where have I put it? I'm very unorganized on my table. I should have cleaned that instead of starting early. So I'm going to grab my zipper template. These ones are called the swatch templates because they're individual. Otherwise, I do also have the big one. So I switch between which one I feel like using. This one's easier for videos because it's smaller. And I've got a lot of stuff going on around me. Okay. What do you mean I'm not very talkative today? I'm plenty talkative. All right. Okay, so we're going to bring this up. We're going to get a ruler. And we're going to line it up. Like so. You may want to clip this on. 2 clips in the corners like that, and everything doesn't move. Okay, so there's a loop going on. Hold on. There we go. No, that did not fix it. So my thread was wrapped around my needle, which is not cool. There we go. So I'm just going to stitch the long lines of this and not the short ends. This is my new favorite thing to do because it's easier to turn things. So I'm just going to jump straight over to the other side and then stitch that bit. Back stitch, trim off the tails. You also want to trim that jump stitch. I call it a jump stitch. They call it a jump stitch in embroidery, so that's why I call it that. Hi, Nancy. And then scissors. Your skull used to be pink. It's a different one. I have a lot of skulls. I have pink, I have black, I have purple, and I have 2. I have 2 of these in pink and 1 in black. So these hold my pens because it's like a pen one. And my black one is for my makeup brushes. I have a lot of skulls. They're just dotted around everywhere. They just hold stuff for me. So I switched between pink, purple, and black. And I felt like black today. I wish I had have kept the green one for myself instead of selling them all, but I thought there'd be more coming, and then there wasn't, and so then I miss out on green, which is a little bit sad. I'm contemplating getting the leftover paint, but the dark green from my table, so this color here, and painting one of the purple ones green, because that would be cool. All right, I'm going to triangle out the corners. Wow, I say corners. It's no longer corners because there's no end, but I'm stopping at the end of the stitches. Triangle out the corners. Right. And so then I'm going to fold this up and I'm going to finger press it flat. And then finger press this bit down and push it through. Hi, Karina. And then get my thumbs and hook it out that way. And then just fold this down. Now, because this particular part is fabric, I could iron it if I wanted to, but I'm not going to need to because it's waterproof canvas and it will sit nicely. So I'm going to take my zip, stick it underneath, line it up, and under we go. You can start wherever. I'm just going to unzip that so the zipper is out of my way. Needle down, pivot up the side. Hi, Kim. And then I'm just going to zip it back up, get to the end, and backstitch. And then trim off all the tails. So now with the back, we're just going to let it flop down, and we're going to stitch this one completely closed. So we don't need to come back into there. Now, your seam allowance that you use is completely up to you for this. The bigger the seam allowance, the smaller the pocket. So that's something to think about. Today is cutting day. Oh, that's cool. I think today for me is going to be wench making day because my templates came. Just super exciting. All right, front pocket done. So now I need this one, the little pieces, so the smallest rectangles, and some zipper tape. So I've got 2 bits here because I was running out on this one. Now this zipper has to be smaller because once we add the zipper tabs, it needs to sit to be the same size as this. That's what we want. Oh no. That's not good. All right, let's see if I can fix this. It's crooked, which is just not ideal at all. So, that's better. Much better. My zipper was crooked, and I could have pulled the whole thing apart or cut another one, but I don't have any more of that fabric, so I've just trimmed it, and the pocket is just now going to be that little bit shorter, and that's okay, because I've left room for error. Which is lucky. Very lucky. All right, so I want to cut my zip. Basically, the size that you're doing all your zipper pockets, because you want it to... The idea is this is going to end at the same spot as the other ones. So I'm going to chop it to there. And then I'm going to put on a zipper. Obviously, we need a zipper. And then we're going to put the zipper tabs on the end. Now, you can do them out of fabric if that's your thing. I do them out of vinyl because I'm lazy and it's quicker. And because it looks cool. Yeah, cool. All right. So, these squares are just the width of the zipper tape in a square. So, I've had 2 different size zipper tapes since I started sewing bags. One was 1 1/4, which is this one, and then one was 1 1/2. So obviously I would just need to cut a slightly bigger tab for that. So I'm just going to put some double-sided tape down roughly the center. And then I'm going to follow it, or fold it in half, slot the zipper in, and squish it down. Hello, everybody. Okay, and then I'm going to fold this one over. I'm going to do the same thing. So I've nearly got 10,000 subscribers. So the next pattern that I design, I think, is going to have to be the free one that I'm giving away for free when I hit 10,000 subscribers. It will go onto my website when I get there. Oops, I'm late. Okay, bye-bye. Thank you for joining us. So, do we have any requests of something that you would like me to design? I'm taking requests. I don't really know what I'm going to do yet. I thought maybe like a funky tote because I don't have a tote pattern. And then I was like, oh, maybe like a cool little zipper case or a clutch. And then I got lost because I don't actually know what I want to do. I am almost at 10,000, which is pretty cool. I don't really post in other people's groups anymore. So if you're not in my group, you don't really know. All right. So the first thing we want to do is we want to take this and center it. That looks really short. It looks short, but it is correct. An easy mark. Do you know what? I've actually been taking Siren to the markets. I took it on Saturday. I went to a market on Saturday and I took Siren and it was the best bag. It was a great decision. That is totally fine. You can talk about stuff I teach. I'm here to teach. Tory Squish is great for getting everything nice. It's probably got a name. I don't know what it's called. So I had to call it something. The violent shake sounded a little bit dramatic. All right, so with the zipper going left, I'm going to put the back on. Center it. Center. Is it a guy type bag? Need to mail it to hubby. So I love Siren. I'm actually planning on making a whole bunch for the horse show because it's got like a good bottom. If you're a camper, it would actually be a great like laundry bag. I use it for markets, and every time I go down to the post office and post all your orders, anything that's in my green bags now goes into the Siren as well. So I take that as my mailing bag because it just fits so much stuff. I wish I lived near you. It would be great to do one of my workshops. Bye, Mother. Okay. So now I'm going to fold this back and I'm going to top stitch. The first comment on that video is, I think we watch the same channels. So yeah, I use Siren as a market tote and a carry-all because it just fits so much. And then you can put like my kid's little drink can go in the outside pockets while we're walking around. It doesn't have to touch everything else. But I could definitely do a tote or like one that like folds up or something. I was going to do a first aid pouch, but then I think so bought one out. So I was like, well, there's no need for me to do it now. She already did it for me. So I don't really know. I don't have a plan, but I really need to get onto it because I have to give it to the testers so that they can test it before it actually gets released. They check for all my spelling errors or grammar errors because I type so fast. The pattern's always fine, but yeah. Sometimes I just type stuff wrong. So now is a good time to check that your zippers are closing in the same direction, by the way. It is very important. That's the whole point of the bag, is you've got all the zips going in the same direction. And then we're going to backstitch. Trim the tails. And then fold this so that we're going to stitch over here. He asked for a guy's type market bag, manly. I was told no unicorns' hearts. A manly one. I mean, depends on what he's into. Like, if he's into Rick and Morty, a manly one would still look like Pickle Rick. Otherwise, you could do neutral browns and tans. Or you could do, like, some, you know, checkers. Is the wench pattern available? No, it is not. But 2 of my testers have completed their version. I have to wait for the others, and then I will release it. So it will be released before the 1st of next month. I super duper promise. But I'm not releasing it until I've gone and fixed all the errors either. And I only have, I think, I don't know, 6 testers. Because I just need them to make sure that the pattern's correct. Because I'd hate for you guys to get it and then tell me off because it's wrong. That's worse. You could put a unicorn on the inside and then it's, you know, still there because it's funny, but not so he won't carry it. You could either get an applique and stick it like in the middle of the bottom of the bag like a logo. That would be cool. Alright. Second zipper pocket done. Hey from the UK. Hello! I'm glad to help you with night shift. Alright, so now I'm going to pinch this so that my zipper tabs pop up. Like so. And then we're going to... Actually, a cool thing that will help is actually to stitch this together. And what it does is it helps hold it where you need it to be. I did this the other day. Flip it over, do the other side. Join it together. It doesn't get all the way, but what it does is it holds it with the seam allowance. So then when I flip it over this way, it's easier to top stitch the last little bit, in my opinion. You want the zipper to sit up like that. And then we just need to join the top stitching. So we start at the top stitching. I'm going to do manually 2 cranks and then just stitch in the edge like that. And that holds it all together. And so now we're up to our edge coat pieces, and they should be dry. Voila! 2 zips. So now I'm going to take these, I'm going to double check that they are dry, but they are, so we're fine. And then I line them up with the zipper here. Now, these don't actually do anything but look cool. I just thought they looked cool, so I like to do them. But by no means do you have to. You're welcome to skip them if you don't want them there. But they're just a cool little accent. So I'm just going to stitch it down. And trim off the tails. And then I'm going to do the same to the other side. Line it up. Stitch it down. They're purely decorative, but I think they look cool. So I'm also going to put a rivet in those. One, 2, 3, 4. Whoops. Right. So the back of my shirt actually has my old logo and website. I mean, it's the same website, but it's an old logo. I took these out because I was, I don't know, doing something else. So I'm just going to stab through all the layers so it holds it all together and looks cool. So again, you can skip this. It's not a necessity of the bag, but I do think it gives a nice accent. You are all very quiet today. Does anyone have any questions for me while I'm just plodding along here? What is the red press behind you? So that one is for my badges, and I also use it to do my earrings and buttons. So it's similar. We actually made this. It's magnetic. So we've made this so that I can use my my earring press to make these. But I've also got a thing that slides under and it makes the badges. I'm pretty sure I did a video on how I use that as well. I have a lot of presses because the green ones don't do the same as the red one, which was kind of annoying, but what do you do? Okay, zip that up. So now we need to insert our magnet. What size rivets do you use? Those ones are 7 mil, so I only use them for decorative purposes. Usually I use an 8 to 10 mil. All right, so there's the middle. So now I'm just going to go in the middle of the 2 stitches. And then mark it. And then we need our craft knife. It doesn't have a lid on it. Where's the lid? You should always put your lid back on your craft knife so you don't stab yourself. Okay, so I'm just going to stab through here. Now, if you did this accent as fabric instead of vinyl, make sure you use, what's it called? Fray stopper. There we go. Do you have a video on the plastic snaps with a hand press? I don't own a hand press, so no, I don't have a video. I used to have a hand press, and I found that it hurt me. So I stopped using it, and then I got the big cam press. Because I don't like it when my things hurt me, because I do this pretty much all day. So even when I'm not recording, I will, like yesterday, I recorded the Goddess of the Sea. I edited it, and then while it was converting in the editing thing, which by the way takes like an hour, I cut out the deluxe overnight bag, which was Stella by Swoon, but I've altered it. And then after that, I made the whole bag before I picked up my child, and I had to do a little bit of running around in town. So see where this is going? See, the accent's just pretty. I don't know. And the Pickle Rick fabric is from Spotlight. It now has Pickle Rick, Mr. Meeseeks, an all over character one, and like one with portals, but the portal one looked weird. Okay, what am I looking for? I'm looking for this. So this is a Tory pocket. I now have a template for this because I think I'm cool. And because I actually take out most people's pockets that are roughly this size, I'll just do this size in the patterns. It's the same principle, it's just I have a template for it. All right. So this one goes, what is it? 1 inch down from the top. I always forget. All right, so that goes there like that. And this is literally how I measure it. And then this is gonna go there. That's where it sits. And then I'm gonna clip it. My hubby is a fan of Rick and Morty. He wanted to name one of our cats Shrimply Purple. That's cool as. You should have let him. Alright. Clipped on. Over we go. Back stitch. Swivel all the way around. Jump to the other side. And back. good name for a cat, actually. Shrimpy Pibbles. Right. I'm going to double check that straight this time, because I'm really paranoid now. Morning. You just call him Shrimply, or Shrimp for short. It would still be cool. Alright, so we're trimming out, triangling out the corners. Well, the ends, I should say now. They're not really corners anymore, they're ends. Triangle out the ends. Good. Okay, and then we are going to finger press down, finger press up, shove it through. Floyd. Like Pink Floyd? Alright. I'm going to Tory squish along here so that the vinyl stays where I want it to. My kid said I have a sewing problem. We were watching you sew. I was sewing all day, whatever my kid wanted. I made clear vinyl box bags for the house. That's cool. Does sewing on either side work better than sewing around the entire opening? Yes, it does. Which is why I now do it. I only do the easiest, aka the laziest way to do things. Unless it's specifically in a pattern and they want me to do it exactly like the pattern's written for a video, I tend to just do everything the easy way. Because that's who I am. And I'm okay with it. How long's this? Alright, I've got to chop some off. So just doing the two ends makes these corners, see how I didn't really have to do anything and these corners sit really nicely? Don't sew the short ends and you'll see a difference and you'll be amazed. I bought spring-loaded scissors. Are they not amazing? I love my spring-loaded scissors. They're just not good for cutting thick layers. I find that I need the Class A ones for when I'm cutting off bulk, but cutting patterns all day with spring-loaded scissors are amazing. All right. Covered in fluff, that's okay. Spring-loaded scissors, they take like a day to get used to the feel of cutting with different scissors, but oh my God, are they amazing. Come back here. My zipper ran away. Alright, so I'm going to start on the long edge for this because I need to hold this vinyl down. And I'm not going to backstitch because we're going all the way around. You'll also notice I chose to do the light green stitching. It's like a fun little accent on the bag. In my Facebook group, we all had a debate about whether I should use light or dark green vinyl. So because I chose the dark green vinyl, I'm using light green stitching. So it looks fun and accented. Turn, needle down, turn, and backstitch. Anyone that comes to my workshop, I'm going to have my scissors out so you can play with them to see if you like them. Alright, fold that down. I'm going to stitch all the way around. Nope. I actually have two pairs. And my zigzag scissors as well. Some things can be cheap, right? I am all about cheap and you know, minimal money, maximum result. Which is why most of my clips are just the cheap ones. My edge coat's the cheap edge coat. But my scissors are the good scissors. Because I don't want arthritis in my hand for as long as I can possibly get away with not having it. Just don't run with them. Very good idea. Alright, so I'm going to baste this on now that I've got my other zipper pocket. See, they all line up and it's fabulous. Gotta have good scissors. You really do. You need to have sharp scissors too. And sharp blades. So your rotary cutter, as soon as you have to start putting a lot of pressure, change your blade. Because it's not sharp blades that are dangerous, it's blunt ones. Because you're putting more pressure, you're therefore more likely to slip and cut yourself. It's not worth it. It's really not. They're not that expensive. I'm going to start at the bottom and then work my way around the curve. No, I'm not. I just ran out of bobbin thread. Let's try that again. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I have 7 pairs of scissors. Some of them are double ups though, to be fair. I've got 2 pairs of class A's. One sits here and one sits over at my cutting table so that I don't have to keep bringing my scissors back and forth because of the volume of sewing I'm doing. I'm not saying that you need that. I'm just saying that's what I've got. I've got 2 pairs of the the spring-loaded ones because they sent me a replacement for my broken ones. That sounds really chunky. What's going on? Oh, my husband knows don't touch my scissors or I'll go mess up one of his knives. I wouldn't actually do that, but I have threatened it twice. So this all just went like skew-if, so I have to pull it apart to fix it. I don't even know how that happened. There we go. Have you tried the Fiskars scissors sharpener? Funnily enough, I have. I own one. Oh my god. Well, that was a disaster, wasn't it? I just dropped everything off there. I do have the scissors sharpener. I have used it. I like it. Especially on the Fiskars scissors. Like to see double zipper pulls on inside pockets also to keep a bottle of sanitizer and a mask in. That's cool. I can't find Fray glue. Spotlight has it. Spotlight has it in 2 brands. Helmer, and it's called Free Stopper with an A. Stopper, not stopper. And then they've got one in like, it's a clear bottle with blue writing. They do sell it. I'm actually due to get another one. So I will go online and look for it online and add it to the description at the end of this video, if you like. Alright, let's try that again. 3rd time's the charm, right? Let's preferably not knock that off. Ta-da! So I like to baste this on so that it won't move when I'm lining up my magnet. Now, I didn't put the official like measurement down for your magnet because you might put it in a different spot. Therefore, I just tell you how I do it. So, now I can just pull this back and see where it's going to be. Whereas some people might want to put it higher up or lower down, or that's your choice. But that's also why I don't give you the official measurement. I just say in the middle of the stitching, if that's what you want. You can do it higher. You could have done it like right up here. It wouldn't have mattered. It's not going to distort anything. Right there. That's where I want it. So that's where I'm going to put it. I'm going to mark my spots. And then I'm going to pull up the pocket so we don't stab through it. Very important. Am I humming the Mario theme? Sorry. I didn't actually consciously know I was doing it. Bend these down. Today I've put one vertical and then one horizontal, because why not? You don't have to put them a special way, but I do like to bend them out. So that's the whole front done, and we should have all our zippers closing to the same side. Now we're going to do our back piece. Like this. Where's my zipper thingo? I've actually been using the wrong size. I'm supposed to be using 1 inch bigger. But I've started with this, so I have to continue with it because all the zippers need to be the same size. It won't matter. If I hadn't told you, you would have never known. So this is 2 inches with the circle. Obviously, it's smaller if I take the circle away, but I don't necessarily want to. I like it in a circle. It feels more official. But I have been thinking if I remove the circle, I could just do the words in a wallet. Now we're going to measure 1 inch up from the bottom. This is literally how I've written it in the pattern because it's easier to measure and clip this way, I think. Going across the line, back stitch, swivel, down. You don't want it too big. So with your logo, you don't want it so small that when you stitch it out, it looks crappy. But you don't want it so big that it takes up the whole space. Mine's subtle. I usually put it on the back of a bag so that people aren't going to be deterred by the fact that there's this giant logo. Because I know some people wouldn't buy a bag if I stuck a giant logo on the front of it. So I put it on, so usually I put it either on the base of the bag if it's got bag feet, the back of, so I'm putting it on the back of the Floozy, I put it on the back of the Whippersnapper, and then if I'm doing a bag, like a tote bag, like Celine by Swoon, I stick it on the side gusset piece up near the top. So in the top half. So like, just pretend that this is Celine. On the flap, it'll be about here. So it's not in your face. It's not like front and center because you might want to actually look at the print or the embroidery design you've put there. But it is still being able to be seen. And because it's embroidered and not a tag, they can't just pull it off. Tags obviously have their place. But if you can't pull off the tag, you can't forget who gave it to you or where you bought it from or whatever. Like, if you like it, people can find you again. So, I don't know. That's why I do it. And that's how I establish where I'm putting my tag. So, on this bag, it is super noticeable on the back, right? Like, that's fairly large, but it's on the back. So, it's going to be against your leg. It's not, like, constantly in people's faces. What's in their faces is Pickle Rick, which is obviously what they're paying for. So that's just, you know, something to think about. Placement of logo is important. And I used to have metal tags, and I used to do them front and center. I did do metal tags, but I don't like mixing hardware. To me, it feels like you run out of something, so you've replaced it with something else. So I personally don't like to mix hardware on a bag unless I have absolutely no choice. Like yesterday, I did a silver magnetic snap because I don't have any in rose gold, but I really wanted to do rose gold with that pink and the design. So I did that. I didn't enjoy doing it, but I don't have any rose gold magnets. It's something I need to do. It's on my list of things to do today, actually. But as a general rule, I don't like to mix hardware. So to do metal tags, you either need to commit to one color hardware for everything, or you need to buy your tags in all the different colors. And that gets really costly. You'd be better off to buy an embroidery machine, and then you can do any color ever. Mount the end. Another zip. Hi, Kim. I do like bag tags. I do think that, like, the metal tags, I do think they look very professional. They just don't suit me when I'm trying to do 6 different colored hardwares. I mean, the other option is get them done in white or something, but again, that won't go with everything. Whereas the embroidery design, I could have done this in green, which obviously I did, or I could have done it in gold to match the hardware. Would you consider putting elastic in the top of the slip pocket? You definitely could for bigger bags. Not on this one. I don't think this bag's big enough for it, but you could definitely run a thing of elastic through the top. So I went onto a website called Fiverr. I'd never heard of it before. Somebody introduced me to it. But basically, I think it cost me $11. And you send them the picture, and you tell them how big you want it, and then you get a chance to stitch it out. And if something's wrong, you go back to them and they have to fix it. What am I doing? About that long. Where did you get my... Oh, I just read that. Hi, Tori. Oh my god, missed heaps. Silly YouTube didn't notify me. That's a bugger. I'm going to start putting these on like a day before. So it will sit here with like a really big countdown. But so you guys can like work it out in your time zones. Because I understand that most people in Australia aren't currently watching. It's usually overseas people because most people have a day job. This just happens to be mine. And I don't record at night because I get tired. And my child has this thing where he likes to get out of bed a lot. Convince me he's not tired or he needs another cuddle or something. Which he gets, but you know. Okay. So again, I'm going to do the long edge first because I want to be able to hold down everything so it behaves itself. And I'm not going to backstitch. Oh, no. I've put the zipper on the wrong end. This one goes the opposite way. It's all right. I'm going to start with my needle in the down position. And then I've taken it off one end, and then you just turn around and put it back on that same end. The reason the one on the back is in the opposite direction is so that literally all of the zippers then go in the same direction. But that was a pretty quick fix. I just forget that because I always make my zippers go to the left, but on the back of this bag, it has to go to the right. And you'll be surprised how many times I do that, even off camera. Because it's just an automatic response. Stick it to the left. And this is the one zip that doesn't do that. Zip it up, out of the way. Pivot, needle down, back stitch, trim it off. Now this is the pocket we're going to leave open to turn the bag through. So I'm just going to do the sides on this one. Back stitch. Trim off the tails. And then we're going to leave that one open. Hi, Tracy. Right, so we're open and we're backwards. That's the outside's done. I need that zipper. So we need a lining. We need our last square. And that's kind of it. I don't actually need the ruler anymore. So I'm going to fold this over, right sides together, and I'm going to stitch the side, needle down, pivot. You never want to leave a corner open. It's super hard to get right. So I always leave like the middle top, or in this case it'll be the middle bottom. It's alright, we still haven't built it anyway. So you've missed some construction, but we've still got more building to go. Trim off the tails. Zigzag scissors. I am aware they're called pinking shears, I promise. I just don't like to call them like that. How often in life do you get to use the word zigzag? The answer is not much. I'm just going to chop off all the excess. That way it'll turn nicely. And then turn it through. Man, I see the passion you have for sewing. It gets me so motivated. I'm glad. My videos are purely to motivate you. That's why I don't have like a subscription service. You can watch it anytime you want for free. People have told me I should do a subscription thing. I don't want to. I'm happy being free. Alright, we're going to top stitch this shut. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start, needle down, I'm going to pull on this and then just stick my finger in that hole and it will flatten itself out. This is the first live on a Wednesday at a friend's place and we sew. Oh, that's cool. So all my lives tend to be on a Wednesday when I can do them, but I can't always do them. But you'll get a lot more lives lately because I have a lot of repetition things to make. So for my market thing that I'm going to be doing, what I would like to take with me is 3 overnight bags, 20 hip bags, 10 sirens, so 20 whippersnappers, 10 sirens, 20 water bottle bags that I'm yet to design because I want to do them without zips so that they are machine washable, 10 duffel bags, 10 winch wallets, and 10 strumpet wallets. That's what I would like to take with me. I do not even have close to anything like that made. I'd like to take a couple of handbags, but they also might sell between now and then. Like the Goddess of the Sea one yesterday, it is already gone, which is awesome. And I can't make another one because I don't have enough fabric, so it's a one-off. Unless somebody else copies me, but whatever. I can't help that. I'm also not worried if you do. I am here to be inspiration. If you like the exact bag that I did, you go right ahead and do it. You will not get any complaints out of me. I can promise you that. Totally hooked on my channel. Well, that's good. If you're new, there's plenty of things to watch. As you get back to like some of the older videos though, you're going to notice my videos are backwards. That's before I worked out how to edit them. So, I apologize for that, but so be it. It is what it is. Okay. We need to find the center of everything. But we're down to not many pieces now because we're just up to like final construction. Oh, another thing I'd just like to say while you're all here. If a pattern link doesn't work, I apologize, but that's technically not my fault. It worked when I put it up because I literally go to the website and then copy and paste it. So when I've put it up, it worked fine. Billy50 was gone for a little while, but she's back, so her website works. And there's a bucket hat one, and everybody complains that the link doesn't work. Unfortunately, I am not in charge of other people. I can only be in charge of my own stuff. So if a link doesn't work anymore, I can't really do much about it, unfortunately. because that's the pattern I used at the time. So when Swoon move all their patterns over, none of my links are going to work. Although hopefully I'll get notified and perhaps I can go fix them all. Because Swoon is now owned by Mrs. H, and she will eventually move them all over to her own website, so she's not running two. But if I get notified of that, I can go and fix it. I also haven't done a Swoon pattern in a while. Alright, so I'm clipping from the center outwards. And then, oops. So this is one of those ones. It's only going to come up to over here. So I'm actually going to continue around this curve. Now you want your clips to face your gusset, because that's just where it goes. And we're swiveling around and clipping upwards. Now I do actually clip this because I don't know where the top's gonna end as such. Oh snap, I am so late. Well, have fun at work, Tammy. I'm sure you'll see me later. No. Can't say I'll see you later because I can't see anyone. I'm staring at myself, talking to myself. I have found since doing all these videos that I now talk to myself a lot when I'm walking down the street. I probably look like that crazy person. I can't help it. I spend most of my day talking to myself. It's bound to happen. Okay. And there. Clean up my clips as I go. That's okay, don't worry that you're late. You can come and rewatch it later, or you can just watch the final construction. This is the tricky bit anyway. Now, if you've used really, really stiff outer fabric, like if you've used a vinyl and it's super duper stiff, my suggestion would be to leave a gap in the bottom of the lining so that you can turn the bag through here. But I've used my vinyl and it's soft and easy to maneuver, so I'm okay with the pocket. So I'm going to stick with my pocket turning. Just put some AirPods in and no one will look at you weird. That's true. I'm going to be doing beach bags today or tomorrow. I kind of want to do wench because my acrylic template showed up and I've got 2 drawers full of wenches that I've cut out. And if I get all of them done, then that's all I really need to make for the market. But I also want to make a heap of sirens because sirens are cool. All right. So around we go, and up. Oh, that's good. I must be very healthy then. All right. Not many bits left. I'm very excited about that. Down and around. So again, if you need to leave a gap in the bottom, because if you struggle or if you don't have the arm strength to turn a bag through a little pocket hole, leave like a big chunk in the lining and the zipper pocket. So you can finish sewing it up through the zipper pocket, but your turning doesn't have to be dramatic. Things like Swoon Denver, I leave the whole base wide open and it just whoosh, straight through. Oh no, I do answer myself. I ask myself questions out loud and then answer it. I'm just crazy. It's fine. It's because I've started doing all these YouTube videos. I talk to myself for 1 to 2 hours a day for a video. And then after you know, a year of doing it, it's rubbed off to now I just talk to myself about, like, the list of things I have to do for the day. I love laminating patterns. It is a great way. It is a great cheaper way than getting acrylic templates. If you can't afford acrylic templates, laminating is your next best option. Or you could cut them with a jigsaw out of like MDF. That's tricky. That's why I used to make my husband do it. But because I sew to sell, I have decided that buying the templates is worth it for me. But I only tend to buy my own. Not because I'm a tight ass, but just because I tend to make my own patterns over and over and over. The dream of mine is to have one pattern for every type of bag. And then I can just alter my patterns from there. They are all slowly coming. And I have 2 wallets, and I never thought I'd do any wallets. I want a tote, but I'm trying to do something that's going to look super different. And I know that sounds tricky because all totes are basically just squares with bases. But I want the outside to be like super funky and unique, which is why I haven't really done one yet. Okay. I will get there though. My mum always said that if you talk to yourself and answer your own questions, you'll get the answers you want. This is true. I don't argue with myself. I'm not entirely insane. Just a little bit crazy. It's fine. Around the corner. And up the side. Like that. Now you can put smaller D-rings on this too, by the way. You don't have to use the 1-inch ones. You could totally use 3/4 of an inch. Or like tiny 1/2 inch ones. Or you could just put square rings and have the strap permanently attached. I just like the look of the D-rings with the clips, but by no means do you have to have the clips on here. It's just the style that I like. I like a little bit of hardware. It gives it a bit of bling. But it would make the bag cheaper if you just did 2 square rings and 1 strap adjuster. So I don't know. Whatever you like. Crazy makes life unpredictable. Yeah, that's true. I can never predict what's going to sell. Some things I make and I'm like, oh yeah, whatever. And some things I make and I'm like, that looks really cool, and it's still sitting in my cupboard. So people are unpredictable, and I like that. Like, everyone likes Pickle Rick, but will anyone like it enough to purchase it is the real question. Can you repeat that? That would definitely mean that I'm definitely going crazy. And backstitch. Trim your tails. Check your corners. Other side. Now, I always do this one last because it's the heaviest, because it's got, you know, the most hardware and stuff. Yeah, where's my center bottom? Center of everything. I have seen that you can get a notcher. I don't know if I need one. But I have seen them in groups where you can like notch your stuff and you just... But I don't feel like it's all that much different to them, like to me picking up scissors, to be honest. I feel like it would probably help more with clothing. Oh, that's another thing. I really want to do clothing. I can't decide if I want to make a jacket tomorrow or the Sashima tote bag, because I have them both cut out. I finally cut out the Sailor Moon one I was going to do. But I've also got a shirt, a black shirt, which was probably stupid because you might not be able to see much. My circle coat, my green coat. I think that's about it in clothing that's cut out. And I really want to do my bell sleeve dress because it's getting colder and it's going to be perfect for cold weather. So, I don't know. There's a lot of stuff I want to do. I don't have enough time. In Russia, they have a saying about talking to yourself. It's nice to talk with a smart person. I like that. Let me show you your options. So this is option 1, this jacket. It's got this cool little like notch there. Or I've got like this cool circle skirt jacket that I've cut out. Or I've got this shirt, but in black. I can show you my cork fabric. It is a thin cork. I actually wanted to do a video with it and make something. It might actually end up being the wench wallet video yet. I'm trying to see if it's in my view to grab for you. It is thin though, so it's a thin cork, not one of the thicker ones. So it's not one of those glorious like overseas corks. It is quite thin, but it's pliable and it has got a fabric backing to it, which means that it should be easy to work with. I'm going to do a video to show you all. But after that first initial day, I haven't really sold anymore, so I haven't really got the money to go buy another round. But yeah, so they're the options for clothing I can do. Otherwise, I have cut out the sashima with the Sailor Moon fabric to use my pink tassel. So that's another thing. I may or may not want to put a tassel on this. My top zipper, I've got a tassel on mine to be able to open and close it easier, and I absolutely love it. Best decision I've ever made as far as tassels are concerned. Actually, no, that's a lie. Getting the tassel templates was the best decision of tassel-related things. My brain does that every time I turn a corner. It's like, meow. Usually doesn't come out of my mouth though. Sorry about that. Right. Scissors to cut off the excess of the curves. The last one that you made, does that have SVG files? It doesn't, but I could probably, depends on how big. It's like 16 inches long, so it won't fit in like a 12-inch mat. I didn't think about that. Because I can just convert it to SVG. It shouldn't be that difficult. But it currently doesn't have any pieces. Right. One day, we're going to collect all of this during my video, and we're going to weigh how much all the cutoff weighs. Hi, Renee. You have to have the noises when you're sewing around a quarter. Exactly. Okay, so with the lining, we have to do our zipper now. So we're going to... No, we're going to do the other end because that end didn't crack. My mission in life is to do a corner as smoothly as you. Slowly, and pivot your hand. See this? Woo, around a corner, like that. Makes you go faster. Probably does. It helps me to go smoother because I'm like, meow. I don't know. I'm just crazy. But you guys are just as crazy because you're watching me be crazy. So there you go. We're all crazy. It's fine. Who wants to be normal anyway? Not me. Tell you that right now. What do the removalists think when they see your sewing room? It's usually mostly packed by the time they get here. So I pack up. I'm not going to have to pack up all this. I'm going to have to go and buy like 200 Ziploc bags to put all the hardware in groups. That's not going to be super fun. Whatever. Okay. So we're going from there to there. There's the middle. So I'm just going to mark the middle to make my life easier. So it's there. Same on the opposite side. If I mark the middle, I don't really have to think now. Thinking is done. Separate your zip. And then line up your middle mark with the middle. Bob's your uncle. Ah. And it also means I don't have to do as much clipping, which I like. I like that idea. So I'm just going to fold this under at a 90-degree angle. So it gives me 45 degrees up where the zipper tape is. And I'm just going to baste this on, because basting is your friend. And I love basting. Just if you missed that memo, everything gets basted. And then we're just going to flip it over, pull it back, and do the same thing again. Now, I always like to go zipper, lining right sides up, zipper right sides up. My brain finds that easier. Otherwise, you've got to start with exterior right side up and then zipper right side down. And it just, I don't know, my brain doesn't like that. So you'll never see my patterns written in that way. It's always lining right sides up, zipper right sides up. And then it matches. There. Twist it under. By twisting it under, it means that we're not going to catch it in our stitch around, because we need that end free. That's going to have like a zipper tab on it. Trim the tail. Turn this right sides out, and then we need to make sure that, so the zippers close this end, so I want to put this in that way, so that the zipper closes at the same end as the rest of it. Very important. I dread the thought of ever moving, as I have so much and I make quilt. Well, I am trying to minimalize the stuff in my house. That's why I've put myself on a fabric ban, which I am very aware that I stopped the other day. And I got a little bit carried away and went and spent a couple $100 on fabric and vinyl and stuff. But I am now safely back on my fabric diet. And I bought all of that mainly to make wench wallets, because the outside's vinyl, the inside's vinyl. And I wanted some cool looking vinyl, because I've got all the plain colors. I've got more plain colors than I have on my website. Like this dark green. I don't think this green's on the website because it's called Jungle Vine, I think. So I actually have more colors than I offer on my website. But I am also trying to get rid of them. Like, so last night I used up the last of my black. I will actually need to get more black because black's a pretty key color. But yeah, it's gone. I'm going to try and get rid of all my pinks and my Blue Lagoon and all my textured ones. I've got like a lot of dragon vinyl here, like a lot. I should probably get rid of it or use it or something. Right, so we're just tucking that in so it's out of the way. Lots of clips. I should do another sale. On what? All my fabrics. Do another clearance in Facebook. I could do that. Or I could cut all of my, like, I could cut my dragon vinyl up into like 20 centimeter strips and sell it. That would work. Or if I've got a 1/2 meter piece there, do some more remnant pieces. That would be a good idea, actually. All right. Lots of clips. I actually use lots of clips for this. It requires it. And then we've just got the end. D-stash. I should do a D-stash. I will do a D-stash when I find out where I'm moving to. I will go through all my fabrics and do like a crazy amount of D-stashing. That's a good idea. Do you have an idea on when you will get more dark purple zipper tape? Oh, am I out again? I possibly already ordered it because I was out. If not, I will order it today. I will check. I order stuff like all the time. And it's not really consistent. It's as money comes in and you buy it, the money goes out and I buy stuff. It's just like a thing. After I pay my electricity bills and stuff, of course, because without electricity, I can't do this. Or my phone bill, for that matter. Alright, so here's the trickiest part of the bag, is this little, like, funky corner bit. Needle down. Across we go. You just want to go stitching to stitching, like you do when you add a pocket to a dress. Straight bit's always quicker. Obviously, it's straight. I'm not trying to get into like any crazy ass curves. Down, pivot across, squish the bag, across to the other side, and then up and around, back to the start, and back stitch. I know I made that look easy, but you also got to remember I designed the pattern, so I had lots of practice making it before the videos. Don't feel bad if you can't do it that fast yet. It's all just a practice thing. You will get there, I super duper promise. Time and practice. You should have seen some of my first bags. They were so bad. It's time and practice. And I was forced to get faster when I got this machine because it's very hard to get slow. Slow is not really an option this machine likes to do. And that's when I had a rotary motor as well. So you turn it on, it whirs up, and it just wants to go really, really fast. Kind of like my horse, actually. You learn foot control. You learn to do curves. Don't be disheartened if you can't do it like me, because with practice, you can do it like me. I'm not doing anything, like, secret. I'm just sewing a lot. The more things I sew and the more different styles of bags I sew, the more things I learn, and then I can pass them on to you. I haven't finished yet. We've still got to turn it and top stitch it, and that's the other hard part of this. So this bag is teaching you top stitching of curves. I have great control because I have practice over and over and over. If you struggle with curves, cut yourself fabric that's just like this big with curves on all sides. So I have like a little bit of a, I have like 2 inches of straight and then a curve. 2 inches of straight, cut squares, and just practice going around and around and around and around. Ugh. I've got to sing a heavy duty and I'm still trying to get used to the speed. Tori, if you move to Brisbane, you'll be about 5 minutes from Spotlight. You can get rid of your fabric. Ha! Except a lot of my fabric has been discontinued, so nobody else can get it anymore. That's why I can't get rid of it. But I am about to make, like, 10 duffel bags. Duffel bags use a lot of fabric, so hopefully that's going to clear it out. So the overnight bag I did yesterday, I was actually secretly hoping it would use all of the fabric I had left, but it didn't. But it used most of it, so I can probably make something small, and then that piece is gone. And that's the big plan, to try and get rid of a bunch of stuff. Speed's not actually that important. If you concentrate on technique, once it clicks in your brain, you'll be able to do it faster. Concentrate more on the technique than the speed, and the speed just comes naturally. I was going to say, if I live closer to Spotlight, we are all in trouble. I will just forever be buying stuff. Although I am trying to instead buy from like Australian fabric companies that have like started up. So I got some toothless stuff the other day, and I'll show you when all that comes. And I found people that do printed vinyl that have a woven back and not that textured mottled stuff, because I don't like sewing with that as much. I find it over perforates and splits. So I look for companies that do vinyl with the printed back. So Lula Eve, I asked them, and they actually have the vinyl with the fabric back on it. So I bought a heap of theirs. Making a toiletry bag to go with the duffel. See? There you go. And then I can use up the last of that fabric. I'll make a pouchel. Haha. Alright, so I'm pushing out all these corners. Hello and welcome. We've still got top stitching to go, so you don't have to disappear just yet. Pushing out all the corners, and then I'm going to seal up my zipper pocket. I love having large fabric stash, but I'm trying to get it down before I move. So when I find out where I move, I might go through and do another de-stash. But it'll be on Facebook, so for everyone that doesn't have Facebook, sorry, but you might miss out, unless you go and get Facebook. And if you join my group, please make sure to remember to answer the questions. Unless we have like 30 sewing groups in common, I don't just let anybody in because I don't need spam in my group. So far, I've done pretty well to keep it out. I just love green. That's why I love the Pickle Rick. I'm like, oh, gotta have it. Okay, so now that I've done that and it all looks lovely, we're now going to turn the bag inside out. Now that I know that it's all awesome, what I de-stash, I will kind of just replace, but I'd like to have less fabric on hand all the time. Like I'd obviously like a little bit, but I don't need that cupboard full of fabric. There are 200 pieces of fabric. And most of them are more than a meter. Like, that's a lot. That's a lot of fabric. I don't need that much fabric. Especially also now that I started using waterproof foam lining for most of my bags. So I've got all this, I've just got a lot of fabric. It's excessive. I also probably don't need 13 different Harry Potter prints, although they are one of my biggest sellers. My two biggest sellers for my personal business is Harry Potter and skulls, because I'm known as the Skull Lady and everybody loves Harry Potter. So I do have a lot of that fabric, but I've also stopped buying it because I've decided I don't need any more until I use up all of that. So a lot of it's probably going to be turned into like large overnight bags. Now I'm top stitching. So I'm using my fingernails to pull up the zip. I'm doing the straight bit first, as you can tell by how quickly I'm going. And then we're going to go around the curve. Like this. And if by turning the bag inside out, you'll find that this is much, much easier. So there. Needle down. Pivot across. Oh no, what happened there? Hold on. What have I done? You ought to dedicate one location to fabric. I did that, and then that didn't work. That's a very cool theory. It just didn't work for me. I had one cupboard, then I got a bigger cupboard. Then it's gone into under the thing, because then I went, okay, these ones are for bags to sell, and then this lot's for me to make clothes. And it's just, it has spiraled. So I don't buy any more clothing fabric until I finish all the clothes I've already bought, which is why I want to start doing more clothing videos. Not so I can buy more fabric, but so I can have the fabric or the clothes I wanted to make from said fabric. I also get carried away. If you guys go, oh, have you guys heard about this new whatever, I go look. And then I'm like, oh, I need it. And when it's a pre-order type thing, I'm not a huge fan of pre-orders unless when I'm looking, I'm close to the end of the pre-order date. And then I'm more likely to buy because I won't have to wait 9 weeks for my fabric because that's just not who I am either. I've also had some requests for Dungeons and Dragons fabric. So I went and spent God knows how much on fabric from Spoonflower because it's the only place I could find it. And I figured while I was there, I may as well make it worth it. So I bought, you know, several different prints. So I'm just using my stiletto to dig out those curves so that they're going to be nice and curvy and less sharp and rounded. Less sharp and pointy. They're supposed to be softer and rounded. Yep. And it just rolled straight into my lap. Turn, down, across. Last one. So this bit's the hardest bit, but it looks cool, so it's worth it. And it's teaching you good top stitching. Back stitch. Done. Trim off your tails. And then flip it back through. I just make a fist and punch the corners gently, of course. I just saw some from Missy Rose. I am happy to buy Missy Rose retail. I don't have the patience for Missy Rose pre-order. By the time it shows up, like, I'm over it. I know that sounds really bad. But I did a pre-order. I've actually got some fabric. I'm saving it for when I design a large backpack. Your logo looks good. Yeah, right? So it's subtle. I obviously need to do a Tory squish along this back edge. But it's subtle and it's on the back. So it's not taking up like a large amount of real estate. But because the plain is black vinyl, it does stand out in like a fun, subtle way. And this green was the closest I could get to the light in the Pickle Rick of all the stuff that I had. So that's why it's kind of looking fun. I could have also done it in gold to match the hardware. Or I could have done, you know, whatever, really. Yellow to match the eyes. Black. Whatever. I liked the green. That's why we did it. Alright, so I'm just going to put the last zip in the top. I love an embroidery. If you're going to do metal bag tags and you're planning on buying all 6 colors, you're better off to save your money and buy an embroidery machine. Because then you could do that and then you can do like front embroidery or whatever. Like the money you'll spend on an embroidery machine, because for bags, you actually only need a 5x7 hoop, and that will pretty much do all bag designs for you. I've only got bigger so I could do shirts, but to make bags, you only need an embroidery machine that does a 5x7 and a 4x4 hoop. And you can do almost every design I do. So yesterday on the Sea of the Goddess of the Sea, whatever, I actually used the bigger hoop, but I should have actually just shrunk it down to the 5x7 hoop because it was a little bit big and it went all the way to the seams, and that's not really what you want. So I would have been better off shrinking it to fit inside the 5x7 hoop, and I would have had no problem. So if you're getting one for bags and stuff, I personally think you're better off to just get a 5x7 hoop and get it with, if you've got the option, get it with a thread cutter, like an automatic thread cutter, because it means you don't have jump stitches all over your design. I would also consider a color screen because it does make it easier, but it's not a necessity. If I had to pick one feature to have in an embroidery machine, it would be the thread cutter so that you don't have jump stitches everywhere. That's just my opinion. You can obviously take it with a grain of salt, but that's what I would do if I was buying a machine. Okay. So the bag is done. How cool does it look? I got it done in just under 2 hours, by the way, even though I was talking. That's pretty good. And all the zips go the same way, which is important, in my opinion. Haha. I love my Brother embroidery machine. I really do. I've had one Janome and 2 Brothers. I was upgrading each time, but I didn't love the Janome one I had, but it was also on the very, very older and cheaper end of the scale of embroidery machines. My one I've got now, I will never upgrade. Like, I am good to just live with this one. I did contemplate briefly getting a multi-needle machine, like one of those very fancy semi-industrial ones. I don't need it. I am quite happy living with the Innovus 6700. It does quilting designs. It's got so much built in. I can use it as a normal sewing machine if I really want to. I could just convert it out. But yeah, no. I will stick with my brother, Innovus 6700D, until the day it dies, and then I will probably just go and get something similar, because I like it. Or like a solid just embroidery, because I don't really need the sewing and embroidery. But it does have a nice big throat as well. It's not quite as big as this one, but it's decent size because it is designed to be a quilting machine. And thank you. I love the bag too. I think it came out really, really cute. I love this vinyl. It just feels nice. It just feels nice. I'm just weird like that. It's fine. Whatever. If you wanted to keep adding more to this bag, I mean, you could put another zip on the inside. But 6 means you need to buy 2 packets of zippers, because I sell my zips in packs of 5, which is why I did 5 zippers. I did actually think about you guys when I did that. Otherwise, you just keep adding more zipper pockets. You could also add a slip pocket to the back if you wanted to. So you would just take this front pocket and cut 2 of them and make a slip pocket on the back. But I feel like with the size bag that it is, there's a point where it's just too much. And that's why I stopped at the amount that I've done. But you could easily, you could do this on the back. You could have the same magnetic slip pocket on the back as the front. Just maybe without the extra zip. You could also skip this zip on the back and just have the pocket. You could add zipper pockets on the inside. You could do different slip pocket on the inside. I don't know. I just thought this is a cool base. So you can make it like this, or you can add to it to suit your lifestyle better, really. This is the one, I'm carrying one of these at the moment, and I've decided I don't actually need a bigger bag. When I go markets and places, I take my siren, and that's enough to carry everything, and then my bag is just for stuff for me, rather than me, because the bigger the bag I get, hubby wants me to carry his phone and his wallet, and then Jesse puts his toys and his drink in it, whereas this size fits everything I need without having to carry everybody else's crap. As bad as that sounds, like sometimes I just want to carry my own stuff. So anyway, there you go. That is me done. It looks sunny outside. If it's warm, I might go horse riding. Otherwise, I am going to go and make all the wenches that I've cut. So there's all my banana wenches. There is a lot. And then I've got this. Wait, not that one. Not that one. Where's the drawer gone? Aha! So this one has got a pickle Rick wench. So that's my mission today. If I can get all that done, I will be a happy individual. There's about 10 wallets there. So I don't love my chances, but you never know. Alright, well, guys, I am going to go. And I will see you all next time. I will be doing a video tomorrow. I just haven't decided on which one. So leave that with me. It'll either be clothing or sashima by Trixis Designs. I don't know. We'll see. But I will go and put a link to this pattern in the description. And I will go and put a link to this pattern in the description. And I will go and try and find like a... What's it called? This thing. See, I can't think anymore. Edge coat tool. I'll go and put one of them in the link of the descriptions from eBay. Alright guys, bye-bye.